Hello and welcome once again to What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility. I'm your host, Pete Pardo, publisher of SOT. It is Wednesday, December the 23rd. Happy holidays to everybody. We are here for our part 2 of our Best of 2015 series. Last week, we went over numbers 13 through 25, my top picks of the year, my top 25. Today, we're going to uncover my top 12 of the year, coincide with the 12 days of Christmas. In case you missed last week, just to kind of recap, numbers 13 through 25. So coming in for me at number 25 was Europe's War of Kings. Number 24, Avatarium, The Girl with the Raven Mask. 23, Between the Buried and Me's Como Ecliptic. 22, Glass Hammer's The Breaking of the World. 21, Blind Guardian, Beyond the Red Mirror. 20 is Michael Schenker's Temple of Rock, Spirit on a Mission. 19, Chris Caffrey, Your Heaven is Real. Chris Caffrey, who's in the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, who you're hearing right now. Number 18, Uli John Roth, Scorpions Revisited. 17, Stephen Wilson, Hand Cannot Erase. 16, Horizont, Odyssey. 15, Ekelund's I Heard You Listening. 14, Magic Pie, King for a Day. And coming in at number 13, Saxon's Battering Ram. So without further ado, let's dive right into my top 12 of the year. Starting with a brand new one from Spock's Beard called The Oblivion Particle. Veteran U.S. prog act. I mean, they've been around for 20 plus years. They've overcome the losses of lead singer Neil Morse and his replacement Nick DiVirgilio. Now they've got Ted Leonard from Enchant, his second album with the band. They have not lost a step whatsoever. This is just classic Spock's Beard, you know, with more than enough hints to 70s prog, but still modern with a lot of pop hooks. Can't go wrong. This, these guys just have not put out a bad album, and their last couple have been extremely strong. I like this quite a lot. My number 12 for the year. Coming in at number 11, one of my comebacks of the year, actually. This is Win Hands Down from Armored Saint, veteran U.S. metal band who first kind of took the heavy metal world by storm in the early mid-80s, or mid-80s actually, and put out a string of very successful albums, then kind of, fell off the map for quite a bit. Lead singer John Bush joined Anthrax, and, there wasn't much going on in the Armored Saint camp for quite a while, but they've regrouped a bunch of years ago, and actually have put out a couple of really strong albums in recent years. And this is their latest for Metal Blade. It's dynamite. Really, really good. I mean, one of their best ever, I think. And again, this is a band who has a really strong discography. So if you haven't checked out Win Hands Down from Armored Saint, highly recommend it. Number 12. Number 11. You talk about bands who just keep getting better and better and better, and there just seems to be no stopping them. Enslaved in Times. The Norwegian progressive black metal machine. I mean, these guys, what these guys have done with black metal over the last decade is just remarkable. I mean, it's, they've added keyboards and clean vocals and to go along with these savage black metal style vocals and the heavy guitars and the blast beats. There's loads of atmosphere and lots of progressive touches. I mean, they've incorporated bits of Pink Floyd and some of the prog giants of the 70s with their extreme metal attack. I mean, just brilliant. The trading off between the harsh and the clean vocals are just so well done. There's some really heavy tunes on here. There's very symphonic and progressive tunes. Wonderful. In Times from Enslaved. Again, these guys are on a roll, and there's just no stopping them. And go see them live if you get a chance, because they're just fantastic. Coming in at number, where do we leave off? 12, 11, 10. Number 9. Sorry, number 9. Can't count today. Whitesnake, the Purple Album. For those of you who know me, or have been following me on the website, I'm a huge Whitesnake fan. Always have been. But Deep Purple's my number 1 favorite band of all time. And, this was a chance for David Coverdale and company to go and redo some old Purple classics that he sang with the band. And obviously, the current incarnation of Deep Purple obviously don't sing anymore, don't play live. So, you've got stuff from Burn and Stormbringer, Come Taste the Band, some classics, Gypsy and Mistreated, Lady Double Dealer, Love Child, Sail Away, Stormbringer, Burn, Lay Down, Stay Down, Keep on Moving, Soldier of Fortune. I mean, it's great. Coverdale still sounds great. The band is totally on fire. You know, Red Beach and company. It's great, and I saw them live on this tour, and it was amazing. Half a set of Old Purple classics from this, and half a set of Whitesnake classics. I love it. You know, is it kind of like a tribute album? Yeah, but so what? Great stuff. Coming in at number 9, Camelot's Haven. You know, this U.S. symphonic power progressive metal band, another band that just keeps churning out one great album after another. You know, with a new singer in tow, and he's been phenomenal. And he's from Seventh Wonder, and it's, you know, just catchy tunes, great keyboard orchestrations, heavy guitars, you know, hooks and melodies, and superb playing. Yeah, it's dynamite. Coming in at number 8, another comeback, one of the comebacks of the year, Iron Maiden, Book of Souls. And again, I shouldn't really call it a comeback, because, I mean, Maiden have been pretty regular with releasing, you know, new studio albums since Bruce Dickinson and Adrian Smith came back into the band around, was that about 15 years ago or so? And this is a double disc set, double album. It's really good. One of the strongest ones since the kind of reformation. And, you know, sticking with the kind of the formula of the longer tunes, but these songs are very accessible, pretty catchy, heavy, galloping. It's classic Maiden. Bruce sounds great. The guitars are as solid as always. Nico and Mr. Harris, great on the rhythms. Really solid. I like it a lot. Two disc set. Book of Souls. Number 7. This is a theme here about these bands who just consistently release one great album after another, and just keep getting better. Under the Red Cloud from Finnish metal legends Amorphis. You know, since they got the new singer for the Eclipse album, which is back, it's about 10 years ago, Tommy on lead vocals, I just think this band can do no wrong. I mean, he's just a masterful vocalist. He can do the death growls perfectly. He's a fantastic, clean, melodic singer. You know, and the music, it's just tried and true Amorphis. It's got death metal and prog and hard rock and symphonic and melodic rock. I mean, you know, little bits of gothic overtones, some folk. It's a little bit of everything. Just a wonderful album. If you are someone who is maybe a little on the fence about death metal, give this a try, because it incorporates plenty of death metal influences, but it's very progressive. It's very melodic. Can't say enough about it. All right, we are on number 6. This band has been pretty special to me for a while. I got to see them live last year, at the end of 2014, for the very first time. Blew me away. I'm talking about U.S. Doom legends, Pentagram, Curious Volume, their latest studio album. It's been a few years since their last one. And, you know, again, sounding better than ever. There's just killer grooves on here. Killer riffs. It's not all doomy, though. There's some plenty of, like, 70s-style hard rock on here. It's just really, really good. And, you know, the vocals are great. Bobby Liebling sounds really good on here. They just sound revitalized. Some killer guitar riffs and solos. It's just, you know, it's one of those CDs that has been in constant rotation in my player since I got it. And, you know, number 6 of the year. Number 5. Yeah, you know, I'm going to, little apology to this band. When they first hit the scene, I kind of ignored them. I thought they were kind of more about the whole image, the whole gimmick, than they were about the music. But then I started to listen to the music, and I was like, wow, there's a really talented band behind these get-ups and masks and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about Ghost. Meliora is their latest. I personally think it's their best. You know, their first album was a pretty heavy kind of take on the Merciful Fate thing, classic Merciful Fate. A lot of satanic lyrics and the high-pitched vocals and the low moans and whatnot. But there was like this little underpinning of like that kind of psychedelic hard rock, catchy hard rock of Blue Oyster Cult in some of the melodies and the vocals. That went on and continued for album number 2, which I thought was a lot less heavy than the first, a little more progressive, a little more poppy, hard rock, but still that Blue Oyster Cult thing is still there. Well, this one kind of goes back, still has that strong BOC kind of flavor going on, but it's heavier than the second album. It's not quite as Merciful Fate-ish as the debut, but I personally think this is the strongest through and through out of the three of them, and I dig it a lot. The tunes are catchy, they're heavy, they're menacing, a lot of good guitar riffs and stuff. Vocals are top notch, so I dig it a lot. We are at number 3, the final 3. This is actually my comeback of the year. And, you know, I'm going to give them the comeback of the year because they've been through a lot. I'm talking about Queensryche, Condition Human. This is a complete return to form. Not that their self-titled release from a year or two ago, which was the first with Todd de la Torre on vocals from Crimson Glory. He newly joined the band after Jeff Tate was kind of ousted. And, you know, they've been through a lot. Big court case with Jeff over the rights to the name. The guys won it out. And they've released their best album, easily their best album since Promised Land. And it's probably better than that album. It's, you know, instantly accessible. It's heavy. It's progressive. Great dual lead guitar work. Todd's vocals are off the charts good. I mean, he's got his own style. Yes, he reminds a bit of a very young Jeff Tate, but he's got his own style, and they've written songs that are just go back to the old days of classic Queensryche. And for me, it's a welcome change. And you know, they released a lot of crap for quite a few years throughout the '90s and the early 2000s. So this is my number 3 of the year. For a while, it was battling up with number 1, but it's number 3. That's a nice ranking for them, and my comeback of the year, Condition Human. If you're a Jeff Tate fan and you're just having problems getting used to Queensryche without him, just do me a favor, listen to this, give it a chance, because I think it'll change your mind. All right, the final 2. My number 2 pick is probably the heaviest album on my list, and you know, these guys again just crush time and time again. It's what should not be unearthed. It's the latest from Nile, technical death metal legends. You know, they do the whole Egyptian death metal thing like nobody else. They're technical. You know, they've got the blast beats going like mad. The guitar work is off the charts. But the one thing about this album, again, there's plenty of that. This has some of the heaviest riffs I've ever heard on a Nile album, and probably some of the heaviest riffs I've heard on any album all this year. I mean, this is just massive. Again, the lyrics are all about, you know, ancient Egypt and about, you know, prophecies being discovered and being unearthed and how we should have left things alone, that type of thing. It's just a massive, massive album. Death metal album of the year for me, coming in at number 2. So, you know, you've heard now my top 24, and so what could be at number 1? I think if you're someone who knows me, if you've followed me on the website for all these years, I think you have a good idea of what my number 1 album of the year is. And really, from the day I got it, I kind of knew that was going to be the case. I was just kind of waiting to see if anybody would have seen it, but I knew that these guys were going to deliver once again a absolutely stunning work. It seems like every album they put out is stunning. I'm talking about New Jersey's Symphony X. Underworld, excuse me. Underworld is my number 1 of the year. I mean, it's epic. Michael Romeo's guitar riffs and solos are just out of control good. And, sorry, my dog is moving my little table here. And, you know, Russell Allen's vocals are just outstanding. He's one of the best singers in hard rock and heavy metal going right now. This is just a progressive metal powerhouse. You know, there's a couple like almost ballady tunes that are just phenomenal, but it's the heavy progressive ones, of course, that are the highlights of the album. It's just, there's so many of them. I mean, Nevermore, the title track, Without You is one of those soaring tunes that just can't get out of your head. Kiss of Fire, Charon, or Charon, sorry. Swan Song, Run with the Devil, In My Darkest Hour, and of course Legend. I mean, top to bottom, perfect songs, unforgettable songs, and you know, that's what makes a perfect album in my view, and that is my pick of 2015, Underworld by Symphony X. Can only, you know, how can they top this? But then again, I said that for every one of their last couple albums, so I just, you know, we'll see what they do next time. But for now, Underworld by Symphony X is my top album of the year. So hope you enjoyed the show here. I just want to give one last little announcement for those of you. I'm sure you've heard it already, but you know, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame announced recently the inductions for 2016, and of course, my guys finally made it. Not that it means a hell of a lot to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to most people, including myself. I think it's a sham. And let's not even get into the whole thing that, you know, current members Steve Morrison, Don Airey, and let alone Nick Simper from the original lineup are not being inducted. So at least they got it right. They got, you know, Gillan and Glover and Pace, and may he rest in peace, John Lord and Blackmore, and, you know, Coverdale and Hughes, but, you know, again, no Tommy Bolin. Rod Evans, but no Nick Simper, and no Joe Lynn Turner, although he was in the band so briefly, I don't know if that matters. Joining Deep Purple are Chicago and the Steve Miller Band and Cheap Trick, and another act which I'm not even going to discuss or mention because, quite frankly, they don't belong. So anyway, congrats to all these great bands. I'm a fan of all of them, so I'm pretty happy for them. I just wish they would have not picked this other band and inducted Yes, because that's who really deserve to be in here. So I think next year for the prog rock legends. So we'll see. So for that, I bid you a happy holidays, a safe and healthy new year, and once again, I want to thank everybody for joining us each and every week here on What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility on YouTube. Remember to join us, visit us on the web each and every day because we got new content all the time at www.seaoftranquility.org. And also, we are on Facebook and Twitter. So, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, be safe, and remember, check out all this great new music if you haven't already. But don't forget the classics, and we'll see you in 2016 here on What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility. Take care. Bye-bye.